Take your position. The show is about to start.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to On Screen, where we discuss all things cinema all the time. Here's your hosts.
the award goes to
Joe Brunett, Joe Cuffney, and Jesse Reichenstein. Lights, camera, action.
What movie is this, Jesse?
This was pretty good, so I think that pretty much wraps it up. Do you want to talk movie news?
Should we rate it or just skip movie news or skip ratings in general?
So that was our take, guys.
I ruined Joe's nice intro.
No, we need to switch it up. That was perfect.
Right,
this is like
have an intro. Yeah.
the intro to the intro, or that was the intro to the intro. So now here's the official intro.
There we go.
All right. So this week we are talking about the rom-com I Want You Back. And we're recording this one on a weekday because me, your host, Joe, slept through our original recording time this past Sunday. So that's why we're here now.
And we were supposed to record 3, so you slept through like a good chunk of time.
Technically, I skipped through 3 hours of podcasting.
And you asked us.
Time, but
Yeah, but he was the one who asked us to record early on daylight savings time.
And it's
And then he
funny
slept through it.
because when I asked you guys, I literally immediately, I think it was, I don't know if it was the day before, the 2 days before or something, but right when I asked you guys, I set an alarm starting at 6:15 a.m. every 20 minutes, and I still slept through until 11 a.m. So there you go.
sorry, that is amazing.
Yeah, Jojo wasn't too happy about that, but anyway, so this is funny that you picked this, Jesse, because Jojo and I watched this like a week ago, like literally, I think the 2 days before you picked it, and I was like, oh, I watched it. So I watched it again, which to refresh my memory, and I actually liked it better the second time I watched it. So go into. I'm curious, how did you find out about this movie?
Yeah, I had just seen was it both of them? I feel like a lot of movies like this, they get on my radar when they do. I watch a lot of like late night, like James Corden, Seth Meyers, maybe those two, Colbert. And so like if anyone's promoting, I'm always like, oh, they have a movie out. So I think it was probably Jenny Slate that I saw, but like maybe it was both of them. And I was like, oh, cool. And I looked it up. Charlie Day and Jenny Slate, like I love both of them. So I was like, this has to be good. Even if it's bad, it'll probably be good.
Yeah.
Because they're both so good. So just figured it was kind of like I feel like for a couple of weeks I had just like the tab open to be like, reminder to pick this one sometime. And then finally remembered and picked it. And it actually, it was better than I thought, because I thought it was going to be kind of like bad but funny.
Right.
But it was actually like a lot better and funnier than I even thought it would be.
Yeah.
That's good.
Joe, what do you think?
I feel like I'm always like, this is not the type of movie I typically pick for myself, but I think when I find myself watching them, like I do enjoy them. And I would say I enjoyed this movie. I can't say I would watch it again. You know, a lot of the same reasons that you were saying, like cast was great and it kind of made the whole thing work. It was funny. There were times that was a little cringe for me. But you know, I feel like that's kind of what it is. So like, I feel like I can appreciate it for what it was. I had fun with it. Probably wouldn't go back to it, but I'd say it was a good watch.
Yeah, I honestly think I agree with you. I think this was better than I thought it was going to be too. And I don't know. My hesitation was I wasn't a huge Jenny Slate fan to begin with.
Oh, she's the best, dude.
But
She's the best.
This movie kind of changed my mind about that. I think she was so good in this movie. I really liked her in this. And her and Charlie's chemistry was really good. I actually really liked all 4 main characters, like the people who broke up with them and them. I thought the dynamic was amazing. Like they were so funny. And like, what's the guy's name? Justin, or the guy with the long hair? The play guy?
The play director.
Noah.
Yeah,
Noah. It was Noah. He was so funny to me. I thought he was just such an obscure, unique character for this type of movie. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. It started off actually really strong for me. And I mean, the ending to me was super cheesy and cringy. I kind of wish it didn't get to that level. We'll talk about this, but the whole mask thing was just like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it could have been worse, but I do agree.
It wasn't really cheesy to me kind of throughout. And then like the last like 20 to 30 minutes, it was just like, all right, we're gonna get super cheese.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go in the direction of like, you know how it's like you could see as it was kind of coming to an end, you're like, obviously this is gonna blow up, and then you think like, okay, they're gonna get together. But then it's like, okay, they're playing it so they don't really want them to get together because it's like predictable. Like they don't want to show it. And then people, you're like, are you just gonna leave this like great feel good movie with them not getting back to like with their both lives are in shambles? So I feel like they tried to like do this weird middle play where it's like they're not, but then they give you that hint, that they will be. But it was just incredibly cheesy with the mask thing.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And then it just cut. I thought there would be one more scene. I thought there would be one thing, and it just was like credits.
I would love to talk to the director about this because I like that has to come off as cheesy. Like they probably did it for some reason. I don't know. I mean, these movies are like you said, Joe. They're kind of supposed to be kind of cheesy, but I don't know. It gave me like I feel like they were trying a When Harry Met Sally thing. You know how they're two friends and they kind of do this thing the whole movie, and then they end together.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was just like it was like I feel like I was having fun with the movie, and then everything just unraveled, and I'm just like, oh no.
Joe needs to stay going up the roller coaster, not go down.
Well, like if it's gonna be like a happy feel good movie, like
Yeah,
let's feel good. Come on, why we gotta bring it down?
I will say, like, not specific to this movie, but I get a lot of Joe Brunett energy from Charlie Day. Just like in general, like not specifically to this.
I take that as a compliment.
But yeah, Charlie Day and Joe Brunett have a lot of similar energy, and I loved
the party scene.
No, really early. No, not the party scene. I think it's when they're doing like karaoke and they're drunk at the beginning. Charlie and Jenny play. And then is it there where he like says something and he says like it's like this play, but it would be these two actors or something. And Jenny's like goes, "You're really good at casting. Like you should do this." And I was like, that's such a like. I mean, we talk about it on this podcast all the time of like cast and being like, and if we could switch that cast out for these people. So it's just funny that a lot of Joe energy and then just that one line of like, "You're really good at casting. You should do this."
I thought that was funny because they were talking about Broadway, like the theater scene, I think, and I assume it's because he's a theater guy, like he's a musical guy. I wonder if he's actually cast at Broadway, any like shows, not Broadway, but like theater shows. And that was kind of like a nod to that. I wonder, but I don't know.
I wonder. He
Like
does.
in real
He
life,
does.
you mean?
Yeah.
He did. He was like in theater like through college, and he like I think he spent his summers at some like working as like an actor in one of those like theater
Right.
programs like in Massachusetts or something where he, like I think he's definitely a theater background person.
Or it's like maybe he did it or that's something he wants to do. And they were like, let's throw that in the movie. Let's see if
and that's how he gets there.
Yeah.
That's how he gets...
Oh, I saw you in this movie and you really wanted to cast. All right, let's do that.
You were really good at it in the movie. So.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was one of my favorite scenes and I have a feeling Jesse probably liked this scene. I don't know. The Little Shop of Horrors scene when the kid was singing.
Yeah, yes. I was dying when she was like, she was the stand-in and sitting there, and that kid
was so
like,
funny,
doing such a great like over the top job. Yeah,
that was my
one
favorite part.
Yeah.
Also, why are kids doing Little Shop of Horrors? That's like a adult play.
I feel like my favorite part of that was when the two kids just were like singing for like entirely too long, but like
That's what I was gonna say. I loved it because they like let the whole song like they didn't just like show it for a second. They like really played it out, which is like again my favorite thing is just playing things out too long. And I literally was just talking about this today because all like the high school plays are happening right now or musicals, and I was bringing up there's like I think it's like a comedy sketch or something online, but it's like a middle school doing the play Rent, but instead of like it's like change. So instead of like people dying of AIDS, it's like dying of like too much sugar or something. Like, but it's like purposely like making fun of like kids doing musicals of like musicals that are not appropriate for kids to do. But it's yeah, there's something hilarious about like that.
Yeah.
Kids doing
Totally.
musicals. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I thought the acting all around was pretty good, actually, from everyone. Like, there wasn't anyone who was bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, the kid who like
The blonde kid, the long-haired kid,
yeah, who like moved the tree or the
the
whatever.
plant.
I just he was so good, and I also love at the end where she's like, "We're gonna have to find a way to stay in touch." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And she puts her phone number in his phone, and is like, "It's strictly platonic." And he goes, "I don't know what that means, but you're my girlfriend now."
That was awesome. I love that. That was great. But yeah, I thought, I don't know, I thought the whole like I don't know, the whole dynamic between everyone was so funny. The whole threesome scene was so funny to me. And like just like the weird, like I don't know what it is, but in comedies, I'm gonna specify that because scenes of people on drugs is so funny to me. And I like Charlie Day does such a good job of like portraying that. It's just his energy just with that. It's like it gives me like, I mean, like Seth Rogen is so good at being on drugs in movies. And like I feel like Charlie Day is also that way. And
I feel like it's his normal energy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like he's just like an upper person.
That was actually one of my like I thought it was the funniest, but also like I was just like when they were at the girls' house, the girls' like house, and we're jumping in the tiny little hot tub. I was just like, don't do that. Like what you do, like that was like cringy, but also like that entire sequence was really funny.
I loved his whole relationship with the personal trainer and like running to the pie shop and stuff.
I feel like that would be you with the personal trainer. Like you guys would just hang out. I could see that. But I do love when they portray like personal trainers or like jock type people, like the way they did him, where he's just like the nicest person ever. I think that's great because like it kind of usually, you know, jocks are like the mean, like I'm gonna pick on this kid, but I love when they portray like jocks like that, just because I don't know, it just makes it's different and it makes it better. And I feel like I know people like that, which is great.
Yeah.
I also like thought the scene where Peter went into Noah's house when he was about to propose was hilarious.
It was Troy, I think, the other guy.
Oh, Troy,
the fitness guy, right? Noah's the artsy guy. Troy's the fitness dude.
Are you sure? I'm looking at IMDb here.
Is there
Am I flip-flop?
I think we might have it
I
backwards.
literally, once you said it, I'm going through so many names in my head and I can't get any of them straight.
I know.
I'll trust whatever.
I don't even know.
Anyway, the jock guy, but like I
got
thought
it.
that was amazing. His face when like he opened up the thing, it was just like,
Oh, it's
So
so
Jock,
good.
Jock guy is Noah. Logan is
Logan.
Logan is
Gotcha.
the play guy.
Okay. See, I think their names should be Troy and Noah. That makes more sense. The other Noah.
so this time we're not going to make casting updates. We're going to make name updates.
Yes.
They nailed the casting, but they got the names all wrong.
I will say an immediate 0.5 points for me is when Jenny Slate's character is watching Boy Meets World. That was pretty cool. So that's all.
Yeah.
If you put Boy Meets World in a movie or show, I'm gonna bump it up already. So
When we're talking about names too, like Jenny Slate, Emma, I think that works.
Emma
That
works.
was a good name.
Peter,
I don't know. I'm not fully bought in.
he should just go by Charlie in everything he's in.
Everything. Chuck.
I did love that diner that they went to. I wanted to go there really bad. That was really cool.
Love a good diner.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I love that people always like that. People always leave diners early in like movies. It's
Yeah.
always, like you either leave and you're like it's always like pulling money out and being like that's probably diner money. Like
Oh yeah, like that'll be enough.
it's the only place they never wait.
No, they never pay. That's what I've learned from movies.
Also, one like weird thing about this is like, I think this might be the first like Amazon produced movie that I've actually like somewhat liked. I feel like most of the stuff they make I haven't actually loved that much.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what's Amazon produced or not. I don't go on Amazon a lot for streaming, so
Yeah, I don't
Trying to
either,
think of
but
other-
I just thought it was interesting that this was one of theirs.
I'm gonna look at some Amazon originals.
they have a lot of series, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
they've done okay. Like they've had some good series, but I don't know if I've ever, like Joe said, I can't think of like a
Yeah.
movie I like.
I know. I guess I can't think of one.
Amazon.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would totally recommend this to people who like rom-coms though. I mean, you're gonna like it just for the cast alone. So
It's just a good comedy in general, I think.
yeah, it's just fun.
Like, yeah. And like it was genuinely, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say like it's like super laugh out loud to me, but it is past the point where like there's some comedies where I'm like, oh, it's good, but I kind of just smiled while watching this.
Yeah.
Like there were audible laughs throughout this for me.
Yeah, totally.
Uh,
I think for me, it's like there are some movies where I'll like chuckle or like, do small laughs throughout. This one, it's like I'll like kind of, I'll smile like you were saying, I'll smile, and then one thing will happen, I'll laugh a lot, smile for another few minutes. So it's not like constant, but the laughs are good when they arrive. So
some good laughs.
about it.
Yeah,
And-
it's just overall a fun movie. Little cringy, but
Pete Davidson.
it's not a good rom-com if it's not at least a little cringy.
That's true. I also forgot Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Pete
forgot he was in
Davidson
this.
cameo.
Mhm.
Hilarious.
I don't know how I feel about Pete Davidson. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch SNL really, so I don't know. I don't really know. I think I've never seen him in movies, I don't think, but I know he's done a few.
Oh yeah, he's done. It's just hilarious that it's Pete Davidson.
Yeah. He was
Um,
funny in this. Like I thought his character was hilarious.
Most people probably don't remember too that Jenny Slate was a SNL cast member for a year.
Oh,
1 year. She
Whoa.
was-
did not know that. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of what she's in, but I can't think of off the top of my head. She's one of those
She-
people where I know her voice, I know her look. I know her. I just couldn't name things.
You know why you probably know her, you specifically, is because she does so much with Nick Kroll. And I think she was always on the Kroll show, if you watch that. I never
Okay.
really watched a lot, but like I think her and Nick Kroll has done a lot together.
I could see that. They're very similar. I feel like their humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good like character people.
Okay. Trying to think. Yeah. Should
Filmed,
we?
filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. It looks like.
Yes. And the last part was Savannah. If you didn't catch that.
Yep. On the boat.
Yep. I could name every location there in those shots.
Oh,
But Atlanta, specifically one of the, I think it was the dinner. There was one place they went to dinner. It was called the Publico Restaurant. The Plaza Theater, which I believe was the theater scenes. The Decatur Square in Decatur, Georgia. It's one of, don't know. Yeah. So Atlanta, Savannah. This felt like when I showed Savannah, I was like, this feels like a Savannah movie. Like this would be a movie like when I was in college. They'd be like, oh, if you want to go be an extra in this movie, like that this is totally one of those movies.
Yeah.
But yeah. You guys
Cool.
want to get
Should we rate it? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Jesse.
units. Ooh.
Units.
I
I always write a couple down in case one of you take it.
maybe this is always the part where I'm like, next week I'll think of the good one while I'm watching it. I'll probably go what is it, keto quiches? Were the quiches keto?
Were they pies or quiches?
I feel like it was a pie place, but it was like a quiche that
Oh,
was
okay,
keto.
gotcha. Right.
And he's like, you're telling me this is healthy? She's like, yeah. I'm gonna give this an 8.
Whoa.
An 8 to me though is like a solid, like
Aaron.
it's great. It's like the solid good movie.
Nice.
I probably would. I don't know if I don't know. I would watch it again. I don't know if if I was just by myself, I'd watch it. I definitely, if someone else was like, yeah, let's watch it, I'd be like, absolutely, I'll watch this again. But again, so much of it is Jenny Slate and Charlie Day. I'll watch anything they're in. And I think they're both like hilarious and, like really I don't know how to say, like, it's a really impressive comedy way. It's kind of like when we were talking
Mhm.
about Horrible Bosses with
Yeah.
Charlie Day and like just Jason Bateman, how like I think because they write and like do their own things, like it's just a different level of comedy. It feels to me like a different level
I
of
agree.
like performance.
Like theoretically, this movie shouldn't be. I feel like shouldn't be good.
Yeah, like you put people who aren't Jenny Slate and Charlie Day, as in like on that level. I don't. This movie is garbage. Like, yeah, like it's just incredibly cheesy. It's like the funny parts don't hit right. Like so I think it's just like a standing figure. But I think that I'll give it an 8 because of them, their performances.
That's impressive.
Um,
An 8 just for the cast.
Yeah, I mean for the cast, but like their performance, and even like you said, like everyone else in it actually was solid too. Like their exes were great characters. Like we said, the personal trainer, like super likable, like great character. He
Mhm.
played that character so well.
Totally.
Charlie's ex obviously was not likable that much, but like very believable. Like
You're still
it
great.
didn't feel like a weird. It wasn't one of those characters where you're like, that person doesn't exist. Come on.
Right.
You like everyone felt like you're like, yeah, this is the movie version, but yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
And like again, also the kids, like it just every part of it. I think it to end where this all comes back to is I love movies that are just like so well character based.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And like this isn't really quite on that level, right? Like it's not a Christopher Guest character level where there's like no plot, it's just characters.
Yeah.
But it's like the characters are so good that I think that's why I like it. We'll give
I
it
get that.
8 keto quiches.
Joe, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of much the same way. I'm gonna go 7 blank Charlie Day stares. Because I just thought that was like the funniest face I've ever seen. He was just like, yeah, I don't know, but I thought it was a fun movie. Definitely cringy at times. Like, probably wouldn't watch it again. Would not something I would choose to watch again, but like, like kind of like you said, Jess. Like, if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm going to put this on," I'm not going to be like, "Oh no, don't do that."
You're like, yeah, I already saw that. Please no.
But yeah, it was a fun movie. Like I would say this is like exactly what I would want a rom-com to be. So
Right.
7 blank Charlie Day stares.
Nice.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same vein as you guys. I actually did watch this before Jesse picked it. So I had it basically, I remembered everything about it. And I was like, do I want to watch this again? Like, because I remembered everything about it. And I was like, yeah, I did. So I put it on and it was actually better for me the second time. I liked it a little better.
Did you notice anything different the second time?
No, I didn't actually. I guess I wasn't looking either because it's one of those movies where you just kind of threw it on. But
yeah, it's just kind of there.
But yeah, I don't know. I would totally like throw this on if you're looking for like a random rom-com to watch. Like it's pretty solid, like you guys were saying. Yeah, I mean, I did have one of my big things was at the very end. Charlie, Peter. He went up to Emma and he said basically when he's back together with his girlfriend, he's like, yeah, we can't be friends anymore because it would be weird because we all kind of know each other. But since they work together in the same building, they could just say they ran into each other in the elevator and met there. Like they don't have to, he doesn't have to be like, oh, we're friends. No, like they could just be like, we met today. I don't know. It's my one thing.
Problem solved.
I wouldn't
But
get
like
your friend.
It's kind of like what ended up happening in the end though, is where like it could easily be like, wait, but like I had a thing with this person and you had like, wait, you each know each other, but you also both got with the exes.
Yeah. It's true. That was one of the best scenes for me, I think. They're just all just kind of like so awkward together.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go 6'5" protein shakes because I love that little clip of Jenny Slate opening it and then it going everywhere because I do that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's pretty relatable. But yeah, this is great. I would totally watch this again if someone threw it on. So
All right, let's review
Nice
next
pick.
week.
Good pick, Jesse. The same one.
Yeah.
I want you back too. Or I got you
Again,
back.
again.
I
Ooh,
got you back, and then I don't know if the
I
troll-
lost you.
Oh yes. I never want you back. Okay, should we transfer to news? Do you guys have any
Yeah.
news?
Biggest news in my world is I still haven't seen the Batman, and I really need to. I think maybe this weekend is when I'll go, but I
I
am
saw it
very
again.
excited to see it.
I saw it twice. I'm gonna go again, dude. You got to see it in theaters. Like if you're gonna
I know.
go,
I
you
really
gotta
want to
see it.
go when it's still in theaters.
Oh, it is. Oh, I can't rave enough about it. Woo! Gives me the goosebumps.
But honestly, I haven't been watching much other than that. I am so I feel like I'm the one who keeps you guys up to date on like Star Wars stuff.
Yes.
But there's a new series coming out in May called Kenobi, which kind of looks at like
The
after
OG cast too.
yeah, it's bringing back Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, and they're gonna like
Ooh.
I guess maybe fight again. That'd be kind of
Duke
cool.
it out.
But I'm excited for that. I think that comes in May, so not too
Cool.
far.
It's Ewan McGregor too, right?
Yeah, it's Ewan
Plays
McGregor.
it.
Yep.
That's gonna be cool.
I'm into it. I'm into
Yeah.
it.
It's like when he's off on whatever world watching Luke, and then dealing with basically everyone dying.
I need to like revisit Star Wars. It's been such a long time since I watched them. Yeah, I would love. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I would love to revisit them though.
I feel like they've been doing a pretty solid job of like they have like basically their movies, whether you like them or not, but then they're like filling in the gaps and using that like the in between times of the movies to like have all these little series. And I think it's kind of cool because it's like it's kind of like what they did with the MCU, where they're like it's all kind of in the same world, it's all somewhat related, but they all also tell their own stories.
That's cool.
Is right
I
up
love
my
that.
alley. So I
Cool.
dig it.
That's awesome. Speaking of tons of stories together, Spider-Man just came out on digital, so that'll happen.
So I
at
thought
some
Joe
point.
was gonna say I usually keep you up to date on Spider-Man.
I'm telling you, Spider-Man 3 is the best.
Do you still like? Is that still your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Spider-Man 3? Yeah, sure.
All right. I respect it. I love it.
No, I mean, Spider-Man 3 of the more recent series is probably my favorite, but
Mhm.
number 2 is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. So
Gotcha.
Spider-Man 3 is by far the best in all cases.
We should have done an episode where we compare Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man Homecoming and then just do the trilogy, compared each to each other. That would have been fun.
I do wish there was a third Andrew Garfield one, because then I could have the trilogy of Spider-Man
Trilogy
3s,
of trilogies.
but there's just too many of them.
Hey, you never know what happened. You never know what'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have too much movie news because I've been so busy with work and stuff. But we've just been rewatching It's Always Sunny like we always do. Movie wise though, I was gonna say I Want You Back, so this is perfect for it.
Covers that. I started watching the Winning Time, the HBO new series
Okay.
on the Lakers dynasty.
How's that?
70. It's really good. It's Adam McKay. It's his show. So it's done really well, and it's in pure Adam McKay style. So like sometimes the characters will look to the camera and like how they
that's
do that in
cool.
like all of his movies. Like don't look up. Like it's not a huge part, but like
Right.
occasionally they'll be like look at the camera and be like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's
and then,
cool.
like, go back to the scene. So it's very Adam McKay, and the second episode just came out this past Sunday.
Mhm.
Comes out on Sunday, so only 2 episodes are out. But Jonah Hill directed the
Oh,
second
cool.
episode that just came out.
That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's really good. It's really interesting. It's fun. Watching that. Amazon Prime Originals series As We See It.
Ooh.
That's actually pretty good. Pretty short, but it's Kevin Bacon's daughter, Sosie Bacon.
Okay.
I think is like the aide to three people in their like 20s on the spectrum. And it's actually like a pretty good series.
Cool.
I'll be
Got
done
it.
with that. And then I don't know. I think that's probably it for me.
We started, well, I've seen a few episodes, but we've been kind of watching Broad City in and out.
I love Broad
And
City.
I've never really like got into it, but it is hilarious. There was one, how like, are you super familiar with it or no?
I've watched all of it.
There was a scene, this I know you would be dying during this scene, but there's a scene where they're in like a park and they're talking, and in the back in the background, a woman like falls down the stairs or something, and they're just talking for like 2 minutes straight, and she's just slowly just rolling down the stairs. And then they just end the scene. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Oh god, Alana Glazer and Abby, what's her name? They're the funniest.
They're hilarious. Were they
They're
on SNL?
so good.
Or either of
No.
them? Okay. I could see them
Um,
maybe like being in that world.
Yeah, for sure. I love that series so much. I feel like that was, I mean, I feel like people, it started around the time where like Girls was still big,
Right.
and they were like, this is like the Comedy Central
funny
version
version,
of
yeah.
Girls, kind of like
It totally is.
Yeah,
And it works really well.
I need to rewatch. I like haven't when the last season came out, I like binged through the whole season, and I haven't seen it since.
Gotcha.
So I couldn't go back. That's like that would be in the category of like Always Sunny to me, I think, where I could. Always Sunny's even, you can't beat it, but like it's in that same, like I could every once in a while probably like go through the series again.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of want to watch the whole series because I haven't, but definitely down at some point.
Have you guys seen Search Party?
No, what's that about?
Check it out. I don't want to spoil it. Just Google it. Check it out. You love it. Seriously though, you will
I
love
know.
it.
Is that the Apple TV one?
No.
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 It started on Showtime and now it's on HBO.
It started on like TBS or something.
Oh,
and then
TBS, okay.
HBO took it over.
I'm definitely thinking something different.
HBO. It's the only reason I'm going to Minneapolis is to force you to watch.
Oh, when you're here,
Okay.
we'll for sure watch it.
Lock you in a room and be like, we're hitting play 5 seasons.
I mean, who knows what'll happen? Maybe we'll rewatch Inside. Who knows?
Yeah, more likely.
Probably.
Oh, and I talked about it last time, I think, because I kept forgetting to mention Bo Burnham's Zach Stone, his MTV show from back in the day. Holds up, still hilarious. It's on Netflix. It's like great. It's a short season of like short episodes, so it's like
I gotta watch that.
You'll Once you
really
love Bo, this is like, yeah, you'll love it.
I'm just waiting for the day he announces a tour.
One day.
I really
think he will.
freaking hope he does.
I think he, well, I don't know what he's doing now. I think he once in a while pops in and does a show at the Largo Theater in LA. But
One problem not living in LA. I don't get these random celebrity cameos. Like,
yeah.
speaking of random celebrity cameos in LA, when the first screening of the Batman, Robert Pattinson came in and randomly surprised people. So I was like, it's the place to be.
It's cool.
But sweet. Is that it? Is that a wrap? Are you guys anything else?
That's it. It's everything.
I want you back.
Oh, we got.
This is what people say when we go into a podcast for a week. I get a lot of messages saying, "I want you back."
I just think of the Haim song. Isn't that
Oh yeah,
something back? I want you back. Isn't it?
I think
like,
of
that's
the
like that
Jackson
was like the
5
first
song.
Haim song that, the Jackson 5. But you know what I'm talking about? The Haim song that was like their first.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
was
talking
first
Yeah.
introduced to Baseface.
Yes, exactly.
about. Oh yeah,
SD Haim. Yeah.
gotcha. Bringing back memories.
SNL performance back in like 2017.
We were in your apartment in Lake Oswego.
Yep.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
Dope. All right. Let's wrap it up.